as we go through the next part of the presentation, guys, we're going to walk through the market update. We're going to walk through the market update. And I think we're coming back around to this any second now. So what I will tell you as part of the market update, and I'll read through this as well, 2021 was our best year that we've ever had. 2022 is going to be the best year that we ever had on repeat. Last year we finished the year up with sales up 6.1%. We sold over 416,000 units here in Texas. 2021, the sales price increased 18.1%. The average sales price, $372,700. Our forecast for full year 2022, sales should be up. I'm praying that they'll be up 5%. We were able to pull it out with almost no inventory last year. So I think if that miracle happened, I think we can do it again this year. And I think that average price will be up 20%, maybe even higher than that, maybe even 25%, which is a beautiful thing. How many of you guys have rental property? Yes, that's a beautiful thing right now, is it not? Yes, it's okay. I won't let them follow you to the parking lot. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay to say. It's okay to share. Guys, I'm going to share with you so I have a little bit of a hybrid tonight in terms of data. So I have the February data for all of Texas and several of the major markets, but I have the March data for the Dallas market because that just came out today. But what I want to kind of have you guys focus on is that closed sales in the month of February up 14%. On the upper right-hand corner, the sales price, and I think it's maybe hard to read in that upper left-hand corner, $390,000 up 13.5%. We went over the forecast earlier. Houston, last month, the average price $395,000. Closed sales were up 23% last month in Houston. Now, part of these big jumps, February to February, just kind of going to roll back in the time machine just to remember that in February of 2021, we were hit with the snow and ice storm, so that prevented a lot of the closings that would have happened in February of 2021, pushed them out to March. So that's why some of these numbers look a little bit bigger than they look like. Well, how does she only predict there's only going to be a 5% increase in sales when, it was up 23% last month? Well, because we had some extra things going on. Forecast for Houston for 2022, sales up between 10 to 15%. Average price up also in that 15 to 20% range. For Austin, average price $606,000 last month. Sales were up 11.3%. Full year forecast for Austin, sales should be up 2%. It would be 20% if there were more inventory in Austin. But right now, Austin only has a 0.4 month supply of inventory. And basically what that means is if we stop listing houses today, in 2 weeks we'd be completely out of inventory of homes for sale in the Austin market. Historically, that number looks closer to about 6 months of inventory in a normal market. That's the 40-year average. So right now we're running at, what is that, 1/12 of that number, basically. So that's one of the big reasons you're seeing those big jumps in the average price in the Austin market. Austin market's exhibiting something that's very unusual, and that is the total active listings is less than the closed sales, is less than the pending sales. That's a phenomenon that you never see, but we've been seeing in Austin for about the last 9 months now. And we've seen it a couple of times in Dallas as well, although Dallas just recently added a lot more inventory this past month. In San Antonio, average price up 16% to $362,000. Sales up 9% last month. The forecast for full year results in San Antonio, sales up in the 3 to 5% range and average price up in the 15 to 18% range. So Dallas has the March results in here. So this is what it looked like last month. Average price $457,000, up 17% versus where we were last year. Closed sales up 2%. Actually happy that it was up. The reason why I say that is because those February of 2021 sales that didn't happen because of the ice storm got pushed into March. So March of 2021 was a really strong month here. So, but we had a stronger March of 22. So I was worried that this number was actually going to be lower just because many of those sales pushed into March of 2021. You guys follow that, what I'm saying? Okay, good. And then the forecast for 2022 for Dallas and Fort Worth is that the sales will be up in the 1% to 3% range. Last year they were actually down in Dallas, but it was only 1%, and 2020 was a great year. 2021 was also a great year. Went from selling about 100,000 houses to, or 101,000 houses to 100,000 houses. So no one's feeling sorry for Dallas. I just want to tell you guys. Average sales price up in the 18 to 20% range. And then when we do the presentation next week, we should have some of the other markets reporting their full March results as well. And guys, I want to do a quick special announcement as we're all here together today. And that is to let you know that over the course of the last 2 years, we have really had an opportunity to rethink how we run the Real Estate Investor Association. So when we first started investing, we did exactly what you guys are doing, which is we attended the local REIA meeting. And we went there, and every month we went back, and every month we got another 3 or 3.5 hours worth of information. It was really great. But the problem was, you can't really do what you want to do getting information, 3.5 hours at a time. I'm sure you guys have probably binge watched, real estate information, and you're probably doing it for maybe hours a day. So what we have done, and we kind of rethought this over the course of the last 2 years, was instead of saying, hey, come back to every single meeting that we have every month, instead we are going to invite you guys to a 3-day training that we're going to do to basically download about 25 hours worth of real estate investing experience and tribal knowledge to you guys over the course of 1 weekend. So when you're ready to go, you can go much faster, as opposed to waiting for us to get together and just learning over the course of the year, which I think most of you probably want to get going now is good. Now's good? Well, how about now? Yeah, same, yeah. So we're going to condense it all into 1 weekend workshop. We'll talk about some of the different investing strategies that have allowed us to survive and thrive no matter what the market is throwing at us. And guys, we survived and thrived in 2008, 9, 10, and 11. So we picked up some skills along the way to be able to invest in any market. We've survived and thrived over the last 2 years, and this is probably one of the most upside down markets we've ever been in. We'll go over the marketing strategy to be able to find your deal. And if you could, just hold my calls. Just hold on my calls. That's okay. Yeah, just take a message. So we'll talk about the marketing strategies you guys need to use to be able to find off-market deals, because if you don't know it yet, your deal is not on the MLS. Houses on the MLS are selling at about 100% of their list price, right? There's not a deal for a buy, fix, and flip on there. So we'll talk about being able to find those deals. We'll also talk about the sales scripts. So this is what we call the exactly what to say for the real estate investor. After us speaking to over 1,000 sellers, after me getting to take training with, has anybody in here heard of Chris Voss? Yeah, never split the difference. FBI and terrorist hostage negotiations. And if any of you guys are saying, well, what the heck does that have to do with real estate investing? Well, what you've just told me, if that is your thought, is that you've never dealt with a motivated seller. Because sometimes it feels like negotiating with terrorists. And then also I've gotten to take training with Phil Jones, the author of Exactly What to Say. And then next week, I'm going to be in Miami taking training with Chase Hughes to just kind of sharpen the skills a little bit. And every time we take a training, we bring that back to our investor association, so you guys can learn from it as well. You'll also get the ability to partner with local experts, access funding from local experts. And 2 years ago, 2 years and a month ago, I told my husband, well, while we're in lockdown, we're going to do this workshop for free. We're doing it on Zoom, so we're going to give it to everybody for free. And then I'm like, well, at some point, I said, well, as long as people are still wearing masks, I think there's like 3 of you in this room, we're going to continue to do this workshop for free. So hold your applause, really. It's no big deal. But actually, you can applaud the 3 people who are wearing a mask, because like if you 3 were not wearing a mask, like I was going to take this slide out. Okay, I'm serious, because like my thought was, okay, until we get back to normal, and dang it, I just don't think we're there yet. So we're going to do it for free, but probably, hopefully we're going to have a summer that really kills it off. That's the great hope. But I'd love to have you guys join us. And we've got several coming up, including one in Dallas, May 20th, 21st, and 22nd. If you want to go a little bit earlier, we have one in Austin, April 29th, 30th, and May 1st. And then if you've got some relatives in Houston or want to do it in Houston, June 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And the cool thing about how we're doing this is you can either come in person or you can watch it online on Zoom. So we'll broadcast it just like we're doing right now. We'll broadcast it, so if you can't get out of work, or you can only come Friday or online on Friday and in person on Saturday and Sunday, you're welcome to do that as well. So we're going to do the QR code. We're doing completely touchless. So if you guys are familiar with the QR code, if you're not, just ask the person next to you. I'm sure they got it. Pull out your phone, open your camera app, point it at the screen. When you point it at the screen, look towards that QR code. Your Safari or your internet browser should pop up. You'll just click on that link that pops up. We're going to ask you a couple questions to get you registered for the workshop. Now, if you have a phone that's more than 7 years old, we can't help you be a real estate investor. I'm sorry, no kidding. If you have an older phone, no worries. Just go to your browser and then type in TexasStarterKit.com. TexasStarterKit.com. We're going to ask you a couple of questions to get you registered. We'll also help you build that first investor blueprint. So we're going to ask you a couple of questions, find out where you are and where you want to go, and we're going to email you a personalized blueprint based on that questionnaire. For those of you guys who are online with us, you can just click on the link right below and fill that out, and you can join us at the workshop as well. So